Hi, this is Fix My Fibro and my name's Bernadette. So today's video is about weight gain. And I want to tell you, you're not fat. You have a medical condition that is causing fluid retention massively, which is known medically as edema, E-D-E-M-A, or in English it's, in British English, it's O-E-D-E-M-A. So it's often called angioedema as well. So edema or angioedema is caused by histamine intolerance. So when you have a massive amount of histamines and your body can't process them, your arteries become leaky and fluid goes out of your blood vessels and goes into your outside surrounding tissues. The amount of times I've been told when I've been chronically ill and had massive attacks, I've been told, if you present at hospital and they say that you're obese on your paperwork and you're going, no, I'm having a massive edema attack, and you're telling them you've got all this fluid and they just ignore it. They go, no, you just look obese, love. The amount of friends that have said, oh, just lose some weight. That's your problem. Get fit again. You used to be really fit. What's your problem? The fact is you're having constant edema attacks. And we get edema from histamines because of our mast cell activation syndrome that is out of control. And mast cells, when they release all their chemicals, histamines is one of them. So, and we don't have appropriate levels or a lot of fibromyalgics. It was shown in a recent study that 75% of 100 women that were studied in Spain, 75% of them had a dysfunctioning gene or gene variants. There were 4 gene variants that they looked at, and all of them were present in all of these women and would cause histamine intolerance because they had low activity of an enzyme that your body uses to process histamines. And that enzyme is called diamine oxidase, DAO for short. You can now buy DAO supplements online. I couldn't find any. I looked a few years ago. I started myself on DAO a few years ago. I couldn't find any here in Australia. I can't go into any shop here in Australia and buy them. But you can buy them there's some European companies that manufacture them. There's 3 different brands that I found recently. They vary slightly. It doesn't really matter which one you take. They vary for different reasons, and I'll do another video explaining them each intimately, and then you can choose. But, if you don't deal with this histamine issue and this excess histamine and your body not being able to enzymatically break down that histamine, that's where you get all your nasty histamine symptoms. Your histamine symptoms cause itchy skin, cause wheezing, cause breathing difficulties. It can cause rashes. What other are histamine? You get the edema, the fatigue. It's one of the reasons for the fatigue. And so if you are eating high histamine foods as well in your diet, your body just cannot process them. A normal control group in the study had about, let me recall, it was more than double the enzyme activity. So our enzyme activity is on the really low scale. There's low and even medium. Some people have slightly higher activity of their enzyme. So therefore their symptoms wouldn't be as severe because they're processing histamines a little bit better. But if you're not limiting histamines in your diet because you have this underlying mast cell issue, you will have constant edema issues on edema on edema. And there is actually another edema that's caused by the release of a small signaling peptide in your body called bradykinin. The bradykinin system is present, and when you have a dysfunction in that bradykinin signaling, there's a condition known as hereditary angioedema. But there's 2 types that have been classified, type A and type B, or type 1 and type 2. And if you don't have particular blood markers where certain blood components are low, you won't get diagnosed with those types. There are treatments. There is an injection called icatibant, which it's ICATABANT, and that is a biologic, which is a new type of treatment that's used a lot in rheumatology and other medicines and other issues, like in the medical community, because it's a monoclonal antibody. So icatibant actually blocks part of this bradykinin pathway so that you don't get severe ongoing edema attacks. We don't qualify for it. I wrote to the head of hereditary, one of the professors that runs the Hereditary Angioedema Association here in Australia, never got a response. I said, we get this. People just aren't interested until it's proven to them. But I know we get this bradykinin edema because when I have severe onsets, I get massive chronic pain. Bradykinin attacks will last 8 days. And it's when you're really, really, really severely ill and you'll end up going to hospital and you'll have these massive edema attacks, but you're not recognised for them. So whether or not that's part of a separate disease process or it's part of the overall MCAS, I'm not sure. But they're issues that cause our massive edema. So you're not fat, you've got massive fluid retention, and when you have all that fatigue and all those chronic symptoms, and you also have the other issues that I'm talking about in the videos, the other conditions that can cause severe gouty pain, you can't go and exercise. So you will gradually put on weight as the years go on.